Hi, I'm Robin Reddick. Welcome to Marriage Journey. Today we're going to talk about looking for love. To do that, I'd like to share a dinner talk I gave recently on that topic. Before that, though, let's talk about this movie. Citizen Kane is considered by some to be the greatest movie ever made, and it's all about a man who looked for love his entire life, but he struggled to receive it from the people around him who wanted to give it to him. What a tragedy. It's a powerful movie and worth your time. But we don't want to be looking for love in all the wrong places, so I hope you enjoyed this talk, Looking for Love. Experts who study human behavior, they seem to say that two things that every human being needs are a sense of identity and a sense of feeling loved by someone. That everybody needs that. Where they don't agree is where you go to get those things. Love is the second thing that humans all need. And the psychology thinking there is the sense of being loved comes from getting that out of our relationships with other people. So that's where we find love. The goal is to go find a person who you feel like can give you love and get it from that person, essentially. So my wife, as an example, in our marriage, would become my main source of love, my inside the house. And my friendships would become my main source of love outside the house. The Bible view is a little bit different. It has a different model. It says we receive our identity and our love from God. And that enables us to then go get involved in our work and to love on other people without needing to try to extract our identity or sense of love from our job or from other people. That's the Bible model. Pastor Tim Keller, who you probably heard of, calls this concept love philanthropy. He says that a philanthropist is able to give a large sum of money to people who need it as a true gift, because he's getting money from some other source. The Bible model does seem to follow a philanthropy model. We primarily get our love from the Lord, and so we can then spend that love, we call it love income, that we're getting from God. We can spend it on other people without sort of freaking out if they don't respond to us in the way that we hope they would. In fact, the Bible actually goes further than that. God will help us to do that. He'll actually be involved in this process and help us receive this from Him and help us give it to other people. Can I prove that? Sure. We can go to this verse right here. Come to me, all who are weary. That's Jesus, Matthew 11:28. Because I'm gentle and you will find rest for your souls. So he's saying, come to me when you need me. I'm here for you. Now there's a lot in this passage. One thing that Jesus meant by it is we don't have to chase things in the world that can't really meet our core needs and wear ourselves out trying to get them. That's one of the things that he meant from this verse. So a Bible model would say, if I get my whole identity or my whole sense of love out of my human relationships, like marriage, it makes sense. Claire and I teach marriage workshops all the time. We're teaching one in a month down at the high school. A lot of couples, I did too, a lot of couples go into your marriage thinking, oh, this will complete me. This person is where I'm going to get my love from. Well, okay, fine. It's all good until you've been married about 2 days. And all of a sudden, what happens when you're not getting it the way you expect it? Might look like this. Let's say that I put X amount of love into my wife. And for whatever reason, maybe her feelings are hurt, maybe I don't even know it, or she's just distracted, she's got life issues going on, or she's just in a dry period right now. What if I'm pouring in love to her and I'm not getting back what I expect? If I'm drawing my main source of love from her, what am I likely to do in that situation? Probably think, wow, she's not the wife she used to be. Maybe I don't need to be the husband I used to be. I start pulling back. That happens. And then she starts to feel unloved. So what does she do? What's she do? She starts pulling back. Now we're further apart than we were. And then I pull back, and she pulls back, and I pull back. Maybe I try to work in some psychological warfare to try to drag some love out of her. That doesn't work, so I pull back some more, she pulls back, and on and on and on until there's very little love in our home. Or until somebody goes, hey, maybe I need to get some love from somewhere else and use that to pour into this. That could be good. But where we get it from kind of matters. Like adultery is probably not a good place to get our love out. We're not likely to pour it into our marriage. Or maybe this is wrong. I should just divorce and remarry and try with somebody else, or I can get love there. That's probably not going to be so good. Maybe I'll try to just say, well, my marriage stinks. I'm just going to get my love at work. That's not probably a good strategy, is it? But there's a lot of people who do that. Well, Jesus offers himself for all those things because he knows that we're going to grow weary trying to get our love in all the wrong places. In fact, not only does he tell us we can come to him, he commands it. Do you know Jesus only gave one command? He gave a lot of things that we ought to do, but he gave one thing as a command. Love God above all other things. That was his only command that he gave. So it must be a pretty important thing. Why would he do that? One, God deserves it. He's a creator. But it has also to do with what we just showed. Because God has something we need to do everything else. And what is the everything else? Well, the everything else is go and love your neighbor like yourself. That's the essence of living. Love God first, and then go love your neighbor. I love this command here because it's actually quite brilliant. This really does wrap up the Ten Commandments in two thoughts. If you think about it, love God is like the whole, if it were two tablets, it's the whole left tablet. All the idols and all that stuff. Love God first. Instead of the stuff you're prone to worshiping, your jobs, your wife, your hobbies, love him first and trust him with all those things. That's like a Matthew 6:33 in there too. And then the other side is, and then go love everybody else with the love that he's going to give you. And then you don't have to think so much about, well, I shouldn't steal, I shouldn't commit adultery, I probably shouldn't kill people. Because if I love someone, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to steal or kill someone I love. So it really does wrap that up really nicely. But it does something else too. It says that God wants, above everything, for us to have a relationship with him and enjoy him. And then allow him to work through us in our other relationships. You might call it charity, almost. Christian husbands and wives can and should be charitable with each other. They should learn how to give love to each other even when they're not feeling it. Because really, that's the best time to do it. If you want to build your marriage stronger, it's real easy to do it when you're feeling it. It's harder when you're not, but that's the most important time. So we say the Bible model of identity is, and love, is to go to Jesus when we're weary, let him love us, and then love other people. But I did have a question about this, or at least I'll present this question. Where in the Bible does it say God will actually give us the power to love other people? Do you know? It does. Right there. We love because he loved us first. And that's not just an intellectual argument. It's real. Because he's really there in our life, pouring love into us, and we can see it when we look back and say, gosh, I can see you've been working with me. That gives us the power to love other people, even when they're not very lovable. In fact, take it outside our family and go love people who are quite unlovable, or even people who downright don't like us. Anybody you ever work with who just doesn't like you? And you think, why not? I'm pretty likable. And you've had to figure out a way to work with that person because God would want you to. And you're about the only one around who's doing it because you're the only one who God's talking to, saying, I really do need you to figure out a way to work with this person. It is tough. So what do we rely on? We go and pray and say, Lord, help me out. What I really want to do is punch this person in the nose, but I need to work with him. Help me out. And he does do that, doesn't he? So it's pretty real, I think. All right, so let's bring this home. We have two models here about how to receive love and identity. And then one of them actually says to give it too. It's the Eastern and Western psychology model. We get our identity in what we do or who we belong to, and we get love in whoever we can get it out of. That's the psychology model. Or the Bible model, which says we get our love and identity both from God, and then we can give it to each other without trying to get it out of our jobs or other people. It doesn't mean we don't pour into our work. Sure, we do, but we do it out of an assured identity, not one that's trying to get something out of that. So the question is, which of these models is right? And which one do we lean on more when trouble comes, when it's difficult? I would guess that since we're church members, we'd all say, well, that's the Bible on both counts. Starting with myself, I would also say, I wonder if our days might test that in some places. Give you some examples. In love, let's take that. What is our, your and my, just think about yourself, I'll think about myself. What's our first response when we're giving love to somebody and they don't give it back very well? What's our first response? Do we pull back, or do we think, oh, wow, maybe I need to give more love to this person? Maybe they need something. Maybe they're upset at me. Maybe I need to confess something so we can get past that. Or maybe it's not me at all, and I need to give them some comfort and support on something they're going through. Is that our first thought? Or is it, what's wrong with them, and pull back? I know what mine can be sometimes. Let me end like this. If the Bible is true, and it is, we do have the power to be philanthropists. We can give freely into the people around us and the work we do. We can put our best into it. We can be proud of things. We can do all that without having to source our identity from those things, without having to source our love from them. We have a power already, and He's Jesus Christ. He gives us unconditional love and unconditional identity, and He's always ready to be there right for us. Now, I don't always do this perfectly. Hopefully I'm growing in receiving this love as I go in my Christian journey. I know that I'm getting better at sharing what I know, and I know where love comes from, and I know where identity comes from, and I'm getting better and better and better at sharing that with others so they can see the real source and start their journey even though I'm still working on mine. And that's really what witnessing is. Let me tell you how God's working in my life, and so you can start a journey, and while I'm on mine, we can spend some time together and help each other through it. At least that's my thought on what it is. Well, I hope you liked that talk on looking for love. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. And if you liked it, please like us so other people can find it. If you had a question about anything that you heard, we'd love to be able to try to answer that question for you. So we'll give you a way to reach out to us, and that way we can join you in your marriage journey. I'm Robin Reddick. This is Mary, and welcome to Marietta. Look at it over. Come on. Today, I'm going to share. If you have conversation, reach out and help you in your. What are you doing? Okay.
It's time for dinner.
Okay. All right. Well, let me finish.